How do you do wind relieving or wind removing? The literal translation is wind liberation pose or Pavanamuktasana. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi everyone, my name is Jimmy Barkan. I've been practicing hot yoga since 1981, was Bikram's most senior teacher for over 18 years. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, hit the like button anytime you're enjoying this video. So, Pavanamuktasana. Many times in the past, I've talked about in other videos how Vishnu Ghosh and Bikram were notorious for not directly translating the Sanskrit. So let's break it down before we get to the studio. Pavana was the god of wind. It's also known as Vaya. In Shivananda, another style of yoga, they call it Vayamuktasana. So Pavana was the god of wind. You know that. Now, Pavana was the god of atmospheric wind, not the god of human wind. So he might have been upset they named the posture after him. But the second part of that word is mukti. Mukti is liberation. The yogi aspires to become a jivamukti, which is a self-liberated master, someone who has reached samadhi. There is a famous studios in New York City called Jivamukti, named after self-liberation. So mukha, we know the word mukha. So for a quick Sanskrit lesson, mukha is face, when we do go mukasana, cow face pose. So we wouldn't say pavanamuktasana, that would be saying it's wind face pose. We have to say pavanamukt with a T asana, wind liberation pose. Now I also threw in an extra bonus pose called belly rotation or Jathara Parivartanasana. So stay tuned to the end. Let's go and look at both of those positions. So here we are in our new yoga home in Pompano Beach, and we're going to go over Pavanamuktasana with the wonderful help of Janice. So Janice is going to face this way. And let's go over the modification first. We talked a little bit about it in the introduction. She's going to interlace her fingers, and she's going to right knee first, and she's going to pull her knee to the outside of the right shoulder and toward the armpit. And she can even flex the foot a little bit. So this is the modification first. By shifting it outside the right shoulder and the rib cage, it opens up the hip and gives you that room that you need. Because if Janice were tight, she doesn't have tight hips, let's say she was, and she were to pull her knee to her chest, and she wasn't able to get it down, she's not getting the benefit. By shifting it over toward the right shoulder and the armpit, that's going to give her room. So now what she's still pulling down though, so now she's over to the side, but she's pulling down this way. So all she's doing is changing the angle. Now she's getting the pressure on the right side for the ascending colon. Now here are a few more modifications that you could use that are great. So yes, she's got her knee out to the side. She can flex the toes back toward her face. She can flex these toes back toward her face, but trying to relax that left leg as much as she can. And here's the last little secret, which is a really cool modification. This is only for modification if you need it. Take this left leg out to the left just a little bit, and that's going to open up the body. It's going to give you more range of motion. Yes, you're changing the angle, but you're still going to get the benefit because you still have the pressure of the ascending colon. And when she does the left side, it'll be the same thing, but the descending colon. Now when the right side is over, the last thing you want to do is to switch legs without doing the Shavasana. So if Janice were to just pick up her left leg, drop her right leg down, and shift it that way, you're not getting the proper benefit in the way the posture was intended. So we'll go back to the right side for a second, Janice. So instead what Janice is going to do, she's going to let go of the foot and go to Shavasana just for a couple seconds. Just let the circulation run its course back into the body. And now we're going to do the left leg. Now she picks the left leg up. Same thing on the left side. Like I said before, it's the descending colon. And then she relaxes back down again. She's not going to grab both her legs right away. She's going to wait for a couple, maybe 1 or 2 beats, 1 or 2 seconds. Now we're still in the modification phase. Now she does the 2 legs. Here's a couple things you can do. You can first bring your both knees up and grab the outside of your knees with your hands. And you can even separate your knees a little bit if you need to and press down. One day, we've already recorded, I haven't edited yet, we're going to do a whole prenatal sequence, what you can do to modify it. This would be one of them if you're pregnant. But you can bring it outside a little bit and still pull the knees to the chest. That's the first modification. If you don't need quite as drastic of a modification, you can grab your hands over your legs. The next modification, grab the wrists, and then the forearms, and eventually the elbows. Once again, you can flex the toes back towards you. You're going to bring the chin down so the back of the neck is on the floor. We're going to start that way. So we're going to work our way down toward the tailbone. Back of the neck toward the tailbone as we pull the knees all the way down to the chest. And that kicks all the pressure. Now with both legs up is the transverse colon. Now for the one leg, and if you don't need the modification, where you're not bringing the leg outside the rib cage anymore, because the whole concept of this pose is to put pressure in the colon, to put pressure in the digestive system. So now what Janice is going to do, she's going to interlace your fingers. This is now as you get more to the advanced side, and she's going to pull her knee just to the right of her spinal column, just to the right of center actually. And the arms come into the side, drop your shoulders down a little bit. Chin down, back of the neck on the floor, and you can even flex this foot a little bit. And as you breathe out, remember it's the very end of the exhale. That's when your body's most flexible. That's when your body is going to be more pliable. The very end of the exhale, you pull your knee to the chest. Now, if you have no resistance whatsoever, and this is now the amplification. This was the traditional grip. In India, they didn't even do this grip. In India, what they do is the box grip. So you're going to first hook your elbow on the corner of the knee, right there. Hook that elbow. Now you're going to grab the other elbow. So you're going to grab each elbow. The shoulders drop. Bikram would say, grab each elbow each other. Or grab both elbows each other. I don't know what he was meaning, but you sort of get what he was saying. His English was not the best. So you're going to drop your shoulders down, chin down, back of the neck on the floor. And now you can see it's the same grip as both legs, but this was the intended grip. So if you have no pressure whatsoever, if you have no resistance pulling your knee to the chest, this is the grip you're going to use. And just like with both legs, back of the neck on the floor, one vertebrae at a time, down to the tailbone. And that is Pavanamuktasana. So here we are in Jathara Parivartanasana, definitely not a posture from our lineage in Calcutta, but I love it because it's a great twist. If you ever go to a chiropractor, he's going to put you in this position to adjust your lower back. So this is a lower back pose, even though it's called belly twist. The belly and the lower back are super connected. So it's really a lower back and side body twist. So once again, Janice is helping out. She's going to bring your knees up, feet flat. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to scoot our hips over to the right. Then bring our knees to the left. If she doesn't, the reason why she's scooting her hips because now her spine is straight down the center of the mat. Let's go back again for a second, Janice. If Janice were not to scoot her hips and just bring her knees over to the side, she's no longer, now her spine is in this angle here, she's no longer in a symmetric position. So back to center again. First thing she's going to do is shift or scoot her hips to the right, knees to the left. Look over her right shoulder. She can hold her left thigh with her left hand and look to the right. Now here's a really great modification you can use if you're really tight, especially if you have rounded shoulders. You might not be able to get a full rotation this way. Take a block and put it between the thighs. Right there, like so. Or you can even do it a little bit on the higher side of the block if you need it. Eventually, get this out. And try to bring your knees even higher over to the front. Get that wonderful belly twist, long exhaling breath, and we hold this one a nice long time so you can get that good adjustment happening. Now for a little more advanced stretch. This is the amplification for sure. I'll have Janice do the left side so you can see the difference, you can see the angle of it. So what she's going to do is bring her knees up and she's going to eagle wrap her legs. So she eagle wraps her legs. She's going to shift her hips to the left, knees to the right, and now she's going to look over her left shoulder, holding this left hip down, or she can place the hand here, taking those long exhaling breaths. What a wonderful adjustment it is going to be for your lower spine. And just breathe into it, let it happen, and enjoy it. And that is Jathara Parivartanasana or belly side rotation. So that's our episode for today. If you have any questions about these two poses, put them in the comments below. I get to all the comments. Love to hear from you. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell. You get notified when I post a new video. Smash that like button. It boosts us up in the algorithm. Really helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.